Things in Ukraine are continuing to heat up. Russia just changed a law in their constitution that prevented them from deploying reservists abroad, but now they will be allowed to deploy reservists abroad, and a lot of those individuals are going to be going to Ukraine. And for Russia, this unlocks a pretty significant pool of manpower that they haven't been able to use in the war up to this point. They've only been able to use contract soldiers, and that's become incredibly expensive for Russia to actually continue to sustain. This has put Russia in a bit of an economic death spiral where you have the private sector and the Ministry of Defense and private military companies all bidding for the same pool of manpower and increasing the kinds of buy-ins that they would put in, signing bonuses and salaries to be able to get these individuals to sign contracts with them. And then they would not receive a lot of training, go to Ukraine and die within 14 to 21 days typically. However, now that they can actually start sending reservists, and this will probably be impacting more logistics and support elements at the beginning at least, that'll free up a lot of manpower to actually go to the front line. Up to this point, Russia's main limiter has not necessarily been manpower. It's mostly been equipment and long-range fires, but this is definitely something to talk about. Meanwhile, at the same time, and this article is from earlier this year, but this has come to fruition where the U.S. has provided Ukraine with intelligence that has enabled their deep strike within Russia. And this is mostly targeting energy facilities and other key targets that really damage Russia's economy longer term. And of course, all this comes with the current discussions in the United States about whether or not to send Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. Of course, here's an article by Elena Mukhina saying basically how Ukraine already knows how they would use Tomahawk cruise missiles. Shocker, it probably would target some energy and military infrastructure deep inside of Russia. But you see a lot of support from across NATO to provide Tomahawk and other kinds of long-range cruise missiles to Ukraine. And the real limiter here is not necessarily political will, it's more logistics and the ability for the United States to re-up that stockpile very quickly, and that's more to do with the U.S. manufacturing base. It wouldn't likely lead to significant swings in the front line very quickly. However, over time, just like the long-range missile and drone strikes that Ukraine has been launching on Russia have had up to now, it's going to be piece by piece, day to day, week to week, month to month. And over time, cumulatively, the effect of those strikes are going to manifest in battlefield impacts probably.